Nice guys always finish last, and we know why. You're a nice guy and you want to know how to get rid of that disease. I got you. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 steps on how you can stop being a nice guy. The first step is to stop treating women differently just because they're pretty. Okay, I want you to imagine like if they weren't pretty at all, right? Which is the basis of being a nice guy. You're a people pleaser, right? You put girls on a pedestal because they're attractive and you just want to get their approval for whatever reason. Right, and I understand that, right? There's an evolutionary reason for that. There's an evolutionary advantage to that. You want to put them on a pedestal so you can be with them and like reproduce with them. But in this case, most of the time they're just using you for attention, and you know it. Like you've become a nice guy. You're doing everything. You're doing boyfriend things without being her boyfriend, right? Which is the worst of it all, right? So I just want you to imagine, because if you're not gonna, like be her boyfriend or anything like that, stop doing boyfriend things. Okay, you're just you're just degrading yourself for no reason at all. Okay, so I need you to like switch your mentality. Okay, stop putting women on a pedestal. Stop doing things. I need you to think like, if she wasn't pretty, or if she just wasn't a girl at all, like if I didn't have any interest in her, would I let her get away with this? Right? There's certain things you just let them get away with just because you don't want to like stop talking to them, just because you like being in their presence. They're pretty, they're feminine, and I understand. Right, but you need to stop doing that. That's the basis of being a nice guy. You just people please, and you need to stop letting women get away with stuff just because they're pretty. You need to stop treating them differently just because they're pretty. I need you to like, if they were ugly, if they were fat, if they were a guy and you had no interest in them, would you be talking to them? Would you be interested in having a conversation with them? Would you let them get away with what you let them get away with? Right, that's the first thing I want you to do, because here's the reality of the situation, right? Whether or not you're nice to her, if she's like got a boyfriend and she's like not interested, if she's friend zoned you, I need you to get this in your head. She's not gonna sleep with you. She's not gonna be your girlfriend. Once you like remember that, then you can stop being the nice guy. Okay, that's the first step. Before I get into the next steps, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, and make sure you hit the subscribe to join the Self Improvement Brotherhood. Right. The second step is I need you to treat yourself as if you're someone you're responsible for. Right. And I took that straight out of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. If you haven't read that book, you need to go read it. Right. And this is one of his rules for life, because it applies everywhere in life. Okay. Treat yourself as someone you're responsible for. And the whole premise of this is that this has to do with like just broader life in general. That's why it's in the book. Right. If you were, imagine like you're the father of like a kid, right? Are you gonna let them like be depressed and like sort of like just sleep in bed all day long, not go to school, not do all the things they're meant to do, not eat, not train, that sort of thing? Like, okay, there's certain things you're not going to force them to do, but like in general, if you can help it, you're gonna like, if it's time to go to school, you're gonna make them go to school, right? You're gonna make them do the things that they have to do, that they know they have to do, right? Because you want what's best for them. Right, and also when they fail, you're not gonna like kick them. You're not gonna kick them while they're done and that sort of thing. You're gonna try and build them up and that sort of thing, right? So if you start imagining yourself like someone you're responsible for, that helps like look at yourself a lot differently. Now, how does that apply to being a nice guy? The way this applies is that again, if it's someone you're responsible for and they were in your situation, would you let them let people stomp all over them? No, like you need to stand up for yourself, right? Imagine your child comes and tells you, and the whole premise of being like the nice guy, this doesn't just apply to women, it applies in general life, like to just stop being a nice guy, to stop letting people walk all over you. It's a mentality that applies across the board. Okay, if your child came and told you that like, oh, these people are treating me like crap and they do this sort of thing to me and that sort of thing, what are you going to tell them, right? You're going to tell them to do one of 2 things. You're going to tell them to stand up for themselves, right, and actually like speak out against them, and they'll actually gain the respect of other people. Or 2, if that doesn't work, you're going to tell them to just stop hanging out with those kind of people. The same thing applies to you. Okay, the same thing applies to you. Imagine watching yourself in third person. You're not going to let people like stomp all over you and do whatever they want to you. Right, that's the whole premise of treat yourself as if you're someone you're responsible for. Okay, stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. Do not let people like just treat you like crap for whatever reason. They don't deserve that kind of attention, right? And then the third and final point is you need to have what I call an FU attitude, right? I learned this when I was watching Drive to Survive F1. One of the team managers, Christian Horner, he's the Red Bull manager, right? I think they got rid of one of their drivers because they said like he doesn't have like that FU attitude that you need to be an F1 driver. And I heard that and it just riled something up in me. I was like, yes, right? Like you need to walk through life with that attitude, like screw you, right? Like that sort of thing. Like if people don't want to like mess with you, or they don't want to do they just like don't care about you or whatever, it's kind of like, screw you, right? I'm gonna carry on doing me. I'm better than you. I don't need your approval, that sort of thing. And this ties in with, I guess you could call this a bonus point, but this is like the main point as well. And this is to build an alter ego. Like I've made a video on the alter ego before, and I need to like talk about. I'm gonna keep talking about this because it's amazing for you. If you can build an alter ego, where you're someone, you don't even need to like build your own alter ego, but just imagine like people you look up to, right? If you're someone who's trying to get into shape and you imagine like you're Cristiano Ronaldo, it's all of like, if you imagine you that, it becomes a lot easier because I'm an athlete, I eat this way, I do this, I get enough sleep, I do whatever, right? If you want to be like just sick like gangster or whatever, however that would apply in today's life, Thomas Shelby, right? You imagine you're Thomas Shelby. Imagine like just whenever you're in that kind of situation, imagine you're like Thomas Shelby, Harvey Specter, who are like all of these like people that we like look up to as characters in that sort of way. Would they take that kind of crap from people? No. Like what would Thomas Shelby do if someone's like talking crap to them? Like he'd give them like that stone cold look he does, and then he'd probably look them up and down, and then say something, or he wouldn't say anything, and he just carry on doing what he's doing. Like he wouldn't care. Okay, so you need to like apply the alter ego to your life. You need to develop your own alter ego, like who you care about. And yeah, that's basically it for the video. The three things you need to stop being a nice guy is one, stop treating women differently just because they're pretty. Okay? Step two, I forgot what it was. Okay, you get the gist of it. I went through it enough. I actually forgot what my second point was. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood, and until next time, I'll see you boys.